Hey, what's going on? I'm assuming you're interested in caring for your offset smoker. Well, you come to the right place. I'm 43. I've torn up so many barbecue pits and smokers just by not caring for them, letting them rust all out, holes all in the bottom of them. But my wife got me this Oklahoma Joe's for Father's Day a few years ago, so I really want to take care of it. All my mistakes from the past are now lessons. I just transfer them to you. So first we'll talk about the tar buildup on the inside of it. What is it? How to remove it? How to prevent it? We talk about the rust and preventative measures you can take that won't even inconvenience you to do. Also, we'll talk about seasoning your barbecue pit, how to do it, how much, what kind to use, and everything. As we get into cleaning this thing, this is what I use. It's just a regular old chisel. I got it from Home Depot. It got a really sharp side, and then it got a side that's not as sharp as the other side. But they come in different sizes. You can get them a little bit bigger than this, but this is just the biggest one that I have. So this is what I use. That black tar stuff on right here on your barbecue pit. It's a mix of like the carbon burning off the coals and the wood and grease and just grime, all kind of stuff. But when it gets cool, it get pretty hard. I mean, it's next to impossible, it feels like anyway, to remove it or clean it without scraping it off. So at first, I was just being gentle with it, but that really wasn't gonna work. I learned real quick how hard it was to get off. So you really gotta chisel it off. Like you gotta actually, like you hammering at it. If not, it's going to eventually rust and eat through and then become weak points in your smoker, and that's going to eventually lead to a hole. So remember, we're doing preventative maintenance too. So we got to get this stuff off. We can't just let this stuff sit here and then rot your barbecue pit away or rot your smoker away. The quickest way to build up rust in your offset is introducing liquid. Water is the most common form of liquid. Excessive lighter fluid, this is why I use my charcoal chimney. I don't like to use water, a liquid inside of my offset. But the least most common known is ashes. Ashes are so dry that it actually captures the moisture out of the air. If you leave them ashes inside your barbecue pit in the morning, when it's the morning dew outside, all that humidity is sitting in the air, all those ashes are just soaking up that water, and then now those ashes are sitting inside your barbecue pit, and those ashes have moisture in them, so that means that water is touching your metal. So water and metal definitely don't mix. It's going to introduce rust. So you want to avoid that by just go ahead and wiping those ashes clean on out your barbecue pit. I have an ash bucket, and I keep it right next to my smoker. So as all the ashes build up, as I'm burning wood, I'm burning coals, just scrape it out. And even when you finish cooking, there's going to be coals still burning. Go ahead and let them finish burning, but just don't forget to get those ashes out before you put the smoker away until the next time you use it. And if you're getting anything of value from our video, if you're enjoying the video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. It really helps that YouTube algorithm, and it'll help push our videos out. I never really understood what seasoning your smoker meant until I actually got one. And you pretty much just treat it like it's a cast iron skillet. You know, you have a cast iron, you know how to maintain that. Those things will last lifetimes. That things will last generations almost, it seems like. So what does it mean to actually season your smoker? Just real quick and easy terms, it just means to create a non-stick surface directly on the existing surface of your smoker. So it's similar to a cast iron skillet. You know, whenever you finish with your cast iron, at least how I do it is I take paper towels, I wipe the inside of it, I wipe it all down. If I use a bunch of paper towels, I wipe it all down, and then I take my vegetable oil or my olive oil, whatever oil we have, and then I take another paper towel and wipe it all down inside and out, and I put it in the oven, put it on 350 and leave it in there. Well, the same principle applies to your offset smoker. You pretty much use any type of oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, peanut oil, avocado oil. They all have a smoke point above 400 degrees, but avocado oil has the highest smoke point, so that's one of the best oils to use. Just because I think it's actually close to 500 degrees, but you can't go wrong with any of them. But the reason, and the smoke point is the temperature when the oil starts to burn and it loses integrity. So like if that oil burns, then it's going to flake up and it's going to be able to be wiped off. It's going to come off. It's just not going to be there no more. It's going to lose all its integrity. So just make sure the oil that you're using has a really high smoke point. And like I said, vegetable oil, just regular oil that you fry chicken with, that oil should be at about 400. The smoke point should be about 400. So I put the oil in a spray bottle and I spray the entire inside and outside of the firebox and the cooking chamber. I mean, I don't leave a piece uncovered. I try to spray all of it. And then I get me a rag, and I actually keep that rag on there too, because every time I finish cooking, I wipe the whole thing down. Just because I don't want, the wind is blowing outside a lot of times whenever you're using your smoker. So it's blowing those ashes all over, even on the outside of it. And again, those ashes are going to catch that moisture, and then it's going to sit on there, and it's going to cause rust. So I don't take no chances. I actually use that exact same rag, and I wipe it every time I finish cooking. And then you'll notice also over time, after maybe your fourth, maybe fifth time of seasoning, of doing this process, you're going to notice that your smoke is going to change colors. It's going to change into more of a really, really dark black color. And that's what you want, because that's going to be that non-stick surface that you're looking for on your smoker. And the reason you want it non-stick is because you don't want anything to be able to sit on it. You want to be able to just be able to wipe it. Everything should come off with a clean wipe. If you have to sit there and scrub and chisel at it, then it needs to be maintenance and it needs to be taken care of. You got to go ahead and get that off and re-season it. But once you season it and get into the process of seasoning, all it's really going to take is wiping it down. Spray your towel after you finish. Go ahead and wipe it down. Even while it's hot, you're not going to, I'm not going to burn myself, but make sure you are careful when you're doing it. But even if it's warm a little bit, I go ahead and wipe it down anyway, just because I know it needs to happen. So at this point, we've cleaned all the grime inside and outside of the smoker. We've gotten all the ashes out, got all the trash out. We done chiseled everything we need to chisel off. So we sprayed it, we wiped it all down with the olive oil, the avocado oil, or the vegetable oil, whatever you decided to use. So now you have to actually season the oil. So that just means cook it onto the surface. I guess that's what seasoning means. I don't really know where the word seasoning came from, but that's kind of what it is. It's just like paint having to dry so it'll stick to the surface. We have to dry that oil so it'll stick to the smoker. It'll make another layer on top of that metal. So basically what I'm saying is we got to start a fire. So here I'm using my charcoal chimney like I always do. I also use vegetable oil on the paper towels to start my fire. And, I got this charcoal chimney a few years ago, and I haven't bought lighter fluid since then. But after you go ahead and get that fire started in the chimney, when the flame is coming out the top of the chimney, then you go ahead and ready to pour it into your firebox. So now that we got the fire going and the wood and the coals added to your firebox, go ahead and add your fuel. For me, it's wood. For you, it may be more charcoal, but just go ahead and add that to the fire and bring the whole cooking chamber and the whole pit up the temperature. Remember, we want to get it above 300, not to exceed 400 or 500. We just want to get a nice even season on this entire smoker. Remember, we're trying to coat this smoker with that oil. So we're trying to get that oil to get a nice smooth surface to where now we don't have to worry about rust. We don't have to worry about anything sticking. We have a nice non-stick smoker. So that's it. We've cleaned and did our maintenance to our smoker now. So now this smoker should give us years and years of usage. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope I gave you guys as much knowledge as I have about it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.